Alright, so here we're working on the galley and behind the galley and turning it into the aft cabin. So what we've got here is a big refrigerator which we don't ever use. We're going to cut this out. It extends way back there, and we can actually see. We can say hi.
Hi.
This used to be storage right here, and it's sitting on top of the refrigerator. So we're going to go ahead and cut that out. Okay, so I just pulled off the back part of the fridge here. You can see there's this thick foam stuff which was underneath the top, and I'm pulling out, and you can see the outside edges of the fridge are quite thick. And we'll go ahead and cut through those and open up this space. There we go. Looking into the galley. Say hi.
Okay. Here we are. Hey, Papa, what are you doing?
I'm trying to take off the fridge here. All right, so now we're going to take off the fridge piece here. See, it's just a thin layer of fiberglass with the foam behind it. So we'll kind of pry it off piece by piece. We took the fiberglass shell off the fridge, and now we're cutting out the foam. And then once we get rid of this corner, it's going to be much easier to work in here. All right, here's the old fridge. We've cut away all the fiberglass to reveal the foam inside. Here, and you can see back here,
there's a huge hole.
There's a huge hole, and there's a lot of room between the sides here. So we're gonna cut out this foam and make it into a berth. Foam.
This piece isn't coming out.
There we go.
There goes the huge piece.
Might need the big saw there.
I know.
Once the fridge was out, we had this empty area back here which we wanted to turn into a cabin, and we did that by creating these compartments here. We also laid down some wood here in the center, building a little sort of mini bulkhead, and then these cabinets, and then fitting wood pieces on top of them.
How long did it take you to get that flush with the hole?
A long time. So we've come to the fitting part of the piece. I've measured it and I've cut it, and it doesn't fit. I got to work with a carpenter, and it helped me realize that even for a seasoned professional, the first cut often doesn't fit. So you cut it, you recut it, you get it right, and then the professional carpenter does all that and then goes to the real piece of wood that he's going to install, and after he's cut and fit everything and made it perfect, he cuts that single piece just one time. The kind of sculling oar we're using on our boat is called a Yuloh.
Yes.
It has its origins in China, where it was once a familiar sight to see sampans on the river with that long bent oar off the back that's pushed side to side and that propels the boat forward.
Hey, Papa, so how exactly is the Yuloh going to work when it's all done?
Watch out.
Doesn't dry.
That's the Christmas tree.
You toppled our Christmas tree.
I knocked over the Christmas tree. All right.
Seriously, be careful.
Pop! Timber! I knocked over the Christmas tree! So if you've got the Yuloh oar here and it's a slightly different shape, it's sort of curved or a little bit even, there's even a little bit of a convex back. You're gonna help me draw? Thank you. Hold on. And that would push the oar that way, which is not what I intended. I need to redraw that and think that. Stop there. Let's see here. The leading edge is going that way. And then...
Can you bring me scissors? Yes.
And that's what pushes the boat forward.
Hey Papa, so how exactly is the Yuloh gonna work when it's all done, and how are you building it?
Well, the first thing I'm doing is I'm making the width of the blade. And so I've got 2x4s here. You can see the blade needs to be a little bit wider than 2x4s put together, so I've created this this piece to go in the center. And I've done a really poor job cutting it, so I need to straighten it out. I'm going to do that with the chisel. And then once that's done, we'll go from there.
We had these lovely neighbors who were on the path of what they described as the essential downgrade, which I don't think I realized at the time how vital that idea was going to become for us down the way. But we were standing outside of our boats one day talking about downgrades, and I said that I knew, even without having taken the boat out a single time off of the dock, that I would never be happy as long as that engine was in the boat. And the lovely crew members sort of just kind of shrugged their shoulders and was like, yeah, just need a sculling oar. I think somewhere in the back of my brain I was thinking of Pooh's long pole that he found in the story. Like, where would I get one of those? Like, where did you find it, Pooh? I don't know. I just found it.
Okay, so I'm going to mix the epoxy up here.
Yes. And then we will wait for it to dry. Right, Pops?
Well, we got to get it all mixed up.
Yeah. We got to do what else?
And then we will,
Wait for it to do stuff.
and we're going to put on the board, and I've got a couple of support pieces, and that's going to sort of hold it together.
Oh, that looks really white.
It's got white. Mixing it together.
Why does purple and brown make it white?
No, it's there's a chemical reaction that's happening. That's what's causing the colors to mix and change. So it tells you when you've got it all mixed in.
Why? It's really helpful.
It's helpful.
Actually, the Pooh story that's probably most applicable is the one where Pooh has the great idea for his boat. We could go in your umbrella, and then there's this little line of question marks. Huh? We could go in your umbrella, then there's like this line of question marks. We could go in your umbrella, and then there's this line of exclamation points. I think that's how I was with the sculling oar. Like, all you need is a sculling oar. Line of question marks. All you need is a sculling oar. Line of question marks. All you need is a sculling oar. And then, like how many years later it finally registers that all we need is a sculling oar.
Push down with me. Perfect.
It got a epoxy on it.
It's okay.
It's okay. We need it to be stuck in there.
This is getting exciting.
How do you get this in a boat?
started parking around here.